I can see the old Queen frowning down upon me, lest I should stray for too long, and I do not want to take the time away from our guest speaker, the Honourable Shen Wei Lian, who's going to speak to us on the strengths in a trade and investment partnership. Mr. Shen comes as no stranger to Melbourne. He served for over 5 years between 1988 and 1993 as third and then second secretary to the Chinese consulate, then serving in other diplomatic posts in Washington, Chicago, San Francisco, and last year was appointed as Consul General in Melbourne. Speaking personally, it was for me a pleasure to diplomatically receive and welcome to Australia back in 2002 Ambassador Wu Tao, whose collegial friendship I have valued as the relationship between our two countries has begun to develop and even to flower. Mr. Shen, it's a pleasure to welcome you here today, and we eagerly look forward to what you have to say to us. But before inviting you to speak, may I draw to everyone's attention two important events relating to China and Australia. The first, of course, is the World Expo to be hosted by China this year, and I have been asked to remind you that group business visits will be organised by the Australian Business Forum, which is a wonderful opportunity. The second, some of you may have heard of the Global Foundation, whose offices are located in Melbourne. As Governor-General, I was its patron, and I was so enthusiastic about it that I very happily joined the Advisory Council as a member. In the week after Easter, from April the 13th, if you didn't know, the Foundation is leading its third mission to China, this time led by Donald McGauchie and the Honourable Warwick Smith, with Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry, Tony Burke, representing the Australian Government. Places are still available for those with a special interest in food security and the related issues of agricultural, climatic change and environmental sustainability policies. That's the sort of thing that the Global Foundation seeks to foster. May you live in interesting times. My PA said to me, "What's that mean?" And I said, well, it's actually an ancient Chinese proverb, perhaps curse. We certainly live in interesting times. And the present economic tidal collapse affects us all precisely because we live in a world that is being globalised, and so our national destinies and our well-being are both intricately related to each other, both for good and for ill. I suppose at this moment we are talking about the downsides, for I am aware that every country, these will be extraordinarily difficult times when our various interests will be strained for a time due to different national needs, circumstances and stages of development. But above all, we need to develop mutual understanding of what each other's needs are at this time. That, to me, is a critical factor in riding through these difficult economic currents. Whatever those difficulties may be that beset us, one thing must remain constant and continue to be fostered. That is, friendship between nations. Real friendship. The real friendship that I'm talking about is based on shared understandings, interdependent relationships, mutual interests, and partnerships that are tied together in a spirit of reciprocity. Such factors will outlast the present buffetings of our world economy. And I do feel it incumbent to say something about that because, as the psalmist once said, heaviness may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And we have to look for it and be prepared. And it's in that spirit that we come here with eager expectation to hear you, Mr. Shen. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honourable Shen Weilian, Melbourne's Consul General to the People's Republic of China.